You are watching a master at work.
The kid's back!
Alright, people, thank y'all for tapping in once again. King Blake, this is the one and only Blake Check. Now let's get right to it. Day one update. So this is really much the most important day and the beginning, because this is where the prosecution establishes what their case is and the defense outlines what their defense is going to be. So right off the back, with the prosecution on Melly's case, said this is how we were able to catch him. We have GPS that shows he was there in the area when everything happened. We have footage showing them all leaving together. We have messages of him then sending a pin to another rapper, Fredo Bang, 2 pins he sent him to come pick him up. We have his ex-girlfriend and her mother who can testify that he called them and said that he was in a shootout, which made his girlfriend scream, and her mother heard the screaming and she came into the room. They also outlined how they have a message where he went on his Instagram and said to somebody, "I did that shit," after they asked him if he was good. Now, that's a whole nother phenomenon. I don't understand what's going on right now in terms of, we know people out here self-snitching at an all-time high, but the new phenomenon, not only is street niggas for a long time have been getting caught up on their phones, but nowadays, these niggas is not only being caught on wiretap, nah, that's old school. They are confessing in Instagram comments like Tory Lanez and YNW Melly and Taxstone. They're confessing to the crimes. So now this is 3 publicized cases as of recent. Tory Lanez with his comment saying that Kelsey didn't shoot her. Taxstone, they said they found evidence on phones that they collected from him while in prison, pretty much admitting to shooting. And now we have YNW Melly, who responded to, I guess, a DM by telling somebody, "I did that shit." Yo, what is wrong with people? What is going on? Like, people just getting too comfortable in their phones. Maybe they just think that they outsmarting everything and everybody. Either way, this is idiotic. So the defense countered, and this is interesting because when everything happened, the prosecution is alleging Melly got out the car, staged the shooting by shooting up the car, and then left his boy Bortland to clean up everything by taking them to the hospital. And he was to just act like they just got into a shootout. He don't know what happened, who it was. So he tried to do that. Bortland pulls up to the hospital, and the defense started poking holes into, why isn't Bortland being charged with the murder? Why did Bortland pull up in another shirt than he originally had on when they got him on footage leaving the studio? Why are they only pursuing Melly for this murder? And what evidence do they have that he is the one who killed them? And this is gonna be a really whodunit type of situation. I don't know how favorable that's gonna work out for Melly, but is that snitching? Because if Bortland did all of this and held you down and tried to make sure that he cleaned up the tracks, if what they're alleging is true, then when you get in court and you throwing all of the evidence and all of the shade in his direction, I know in the back of his mind he's like, damn, I get what they trying to do, but this don't feel good, I'm sure. But either way, that's what's going on. I don't understand why Bortland is in charge as well, as an accessory to the murder or something along those lines. Maybe somebody could tell me in the comments if they got a little bit more insight than me as far as that goes. But the trial is on the way. It's kicked off. They're gonna get into the trajectory. Listen, one of the details, the gory detail that came out that the prosecution had talked about, was that one of the bullets they're alleging Melly fired into one of his boys. Remember, they were all in a car together, and they're alleging that he killed his 2 friends while his other friend was driving. And they're alleging that when one of his boys who got hit in the head with one of the bullet hit him in the back of the head, traveled through his skull, popped out the top of his head and broke the car window. That's how much velocity that the bullet traveling through his head went. So, I mean, this is graphic. This is crazy. Another thing, his name is Jamel Demons, but they're trying to, give him a fair shake by calling him Mr. Demons. I ain't never seen the word demon pronounced as Demons, but that's definitely another ploy that they're trying to do in that courtroom. Melly, they show him on the footage from time to time. That nigga looks lost. I don't know if he just always naturally look loopy like that. With his eyes, he like a gecko. His eyes just bouncing all around his head and everything like that. It's weird. But these are the defense and the prosecution's angles that they're going to outline. Again, prosecution is saying he did it. We know he did it because we seen them leave the studio together. He was in the seat, in the back seat, where the bullet trajectories would have entered into his two friends, and then magically he disappeared after the shooting when all of their GPS is on their phone. Yo, turns out one of his dudes that he killed, allegedly, was on the family plan with him. So they're like, yo, we're able to track their two phones, their GPSs, all the way to where we believe the murder actually happened and where he attempted to stage the scene. And then you see them split ways shortly after that, where he was trying to send his location out to people and trying to get a ride and all of this other stuff. So man, this is a crazy story, and we will be tuned the whole way through. Anything else come out of this that I think need to be shared or discussed, we gonna talk about. But lastly, they have not been able to establish a motive. That to some people is pretty important. It's not necessarily when charging somebody with a crime, as opposed, what you might have seen on a lot of TV shows and stuff like that. They don't necessarily need to prove the motive, but the motive helps a lot with convincing a jury that somebody who has his friends tattooed on his face, that even though on the footage they all left together seemingly peacefully, at some point during that car ride, or maybe before the car ride, who knows, Melly made a decision, I'm about to kill these two niggas. So this is gonna be interesting to see how it plays out. King Blake, this is the one and only Blake Check. Thank y'all again. I'm going.